Oh, right. Well, now that I am done mud bogging and four-wheeling in about 3 feet of mud, and I've got mud all over my beard and everywhere, in any places that I really don't want any mud, Nevada's powerful culinary union says members were viciously attacked by Sanders supporters. Well, that's not something you hear very much. Sanders supporters viciously attacking, well, anybody. Well, the title's a little bit hyperbole. Viciously attacked. It was social media. The phone calls, okay. I think the phone calls are probably a little bit worse than social media, but I wouldn't say viciously attacked. Were they harassed? Sure. But let's read this. The politically influential culinary union in Nevada released a statement on Wednesday claiming that its members have been viciously attacked by supporters of Bernie Sanders after the union publicly warned its members against backing a candidate in the state's Democrat caucus who supports Medicare for all. In the union statement, they said basically that Medicare for all would threaten the culinary health care that they had spent the last 80 years trying to perfect. Obviously, they don't want to be put out of a job either, the individuals in the union who handle this sort of thing. And, it's a bad way to make your cause look when you attack another cause. It's just, you're doing your cause more harm than you are good. The union statement comes amid reports of harassment of union members over the phone and on social media by alleged Sanders supporters, less than a day after the union released a flyer claiming that Sanders wants to, end culinary healthcare. And healthcare for all would end with healthcare for all. And Sanders has not said anything on how his health care for all would work. How would union members be able to get their health care? How is it going to be paid for? Well, I mean, we know how it's going to be paid for. It's going to be taxes. The buzzwords of free health care for all sounds good on paper because it looks like it's free, but it's not. You're paying for it. Education. Free education sounds great on paper, but it's not free. It's not really free. It's disappointing that Senator Sanders' supporters have viciously attacked the culinary union and working families in Nevada simply because our union has provided facts on what certain healthcare proposals might do to take away the system of care that we have built over 8 decades. Gioconda Arguella Klein, the Secretary-Treasurer of the Culinary Union, Local 226, said in her statement. And it would. It would end healthcare for all. It would end any kind of union plans. Now, how Senator Sanders is going to work that out, he hasn't really said anything. He's been confronted and he's been asked, but he hasn't given anything. How is it going to be paid for? The Casino Workers Culinary Union, a 60,000-member group made up of housekeepers, porters, bartenders, and more who work in Las Vegas. Las Vegas's famed casinos controls arguably one of the most important voting blocks in Nevada and is expected to play a crucial role in the state's caucus later this month. Nevada is decided by Reno and Las Vegas. That's it. Reno and Las Vegas. Those are the two parts of Nevada that decide Nevada. Earlier this month, the union began distributing leaflets in employee dining rooms this week that push back against Medicare for all, the plan from Sanders and Warren to move a government-run health insurance system. The leaflet said, presidential candidates suggesting forcing millions of hardworking people to give up their health care creates unnecessary division between workers and will give us 4 more years of Trump. And it will. When you look on paper, healthcare for all, we don't have the infrastructure. It's going to cost so much to change our infrastructure. 2, my mother was a dual citizen. She kept her green card. She went to the country that had free healthcare because, well, it was free, and she went there for the dumb stuff, the dental appointments, the regular visits and checkups and things like that. But when it came to procedures that meant a damn, that meant something, that were life threatening or life-changing and had to be done, she did them in the States. And there's a reason for that. You don't get a choice in healthcare for all systems. The government chooses for you. You don't get a choice. And it's so overloaded. The wait is so long in healthcare for all systems. I remember going up to Canada and waiting forever and ever and ever just to be seen for an appointment. And the hospitals always seemed less than what our hospitals here are, if you know what I mean. When you walk into a hospital in another country or even in another state or another city and you're like, wow, this hospital has old equipment. It doesn't seem like it's very sanitary. It's constantly packed. Constantly packed. And half the time when you go for an appointment, they send you home and they say, well, come back in 2 weeks. It's crazy. It is not this super savior system that people believe it is. Mostly college students. I'm sorry, you're dumb college students. You have no idea how the world works. Healthcare is one of the biggest issues for the union, whose members have fought and negotiated for robust plans. But union leaders say the leaflet is not a sign of whether the union will endorse, and said the union is not an organization against any candidates. They're not going to endorse or go against any candidates. They just don't want their robust healthcare system touched. A couple of those degrees up there on the wall behind me are culinary arts degrees, and there's some pretty heavy degrees. I mean, I went the full load. I went the full boat, years in college to learn culinary arts. So I have a little bit of inside knowledge, and yeah, they are some robust healthcare systems. They truly are. They're not half bad. While on the stump in Nevada, Sanders has struggled to answer what his Medicare for All plan would mean for union members. During a stop in the state in December, Sanders was heckled by a group in the audience shouting, "Union healthcare," while another attendee shouted, "How are you going to pay for it?" Taxes. How are you going to pay for it? Taxes. Raise taxes. Like, that is the cure for everything. Raise taxes, especially raising taxes on the rich. Imagine you go to a restaurant, okay? And you all have this plan where you pay for the meal based upon your income, and you've got this one guy that pays $45 out of a $100 bill, and all you pay is $10, okay? Because the top earners in the United States pay 45% of the taxes. So this guy pays $45 out of the bill, and you're fine. You're paying $10, and you know what? You're getting this big, nice, expensive, huge meal that's, what, I don't know, pick a number, $30 a plate. And you're getting it for a lot cheaper. And your rich buddy, because he makes more, is paying a higher percentage. Then along comes Bernie Sanders, and he says, well, your buddy over there who's been paying more than anybody else at this table isn't paying his fair share, so we're going to want him to pay $98 out of $100. Well, your buddy gets up and leaves and never comes back because he doesn't think that's fair. I wouldn't think it was fair either. I mean, anybody who says that the rich are not paying their fair share is an idiot. Let me revise. Idiot think. It's dumb. If we lose the top earners in the United States, all the rest of us are going to have to pick up the tab. Or lose programs. Lose fixing of our infrastructure. The Nevada caucuses are generally decided by who wins the state's two main population centers of Clark County, Las Vegas and Reno. The state has taken on an even bigger role in this year's election because Iowa is just a complete, absolute mess, and nobody knows what's going on there. And even if you know what's going on there, you're not for sure that that's really what's going on there, so that's just a complete mess. So now New Hampshire is the first primary, I guess, and Nevada's the second. Is that how we're going to do it? Because does Iowa even count anymore? I mean, they're going to do a recanvass, aren't they? So do we even count it? I don't know. But end all, it's a horrible way, if you are a Bernie Sanders supporter, to make your cause look if you attack someone else because they have a differing opinion. Don't do it. You do your cause a disservice rather than a service. I know you think you're doing good. I know you think you're being funny. I know you think you're being, I don't know, hip. And probably recording it on another phone or another camera while you're doing it, just that way you can be like, hey, look, I'm going to post this to YouTube. Look what an idiot I am. Okay, all right. But that's how I read it. But I want to know your opinions. What do you think? Should we be attacking political opponents via social media and phone calls? Is that the correct thing that we should be doing? Is that what makes our cause look like a good cause? Is that what makes people look from the left to the right and be like, you know, I want to go to this side that keeps fighting each other and fighting other people and making prank calls? Or do I want to go to the right where, you know, everybody's like, hey, come on over. We got a beer. You want a beer? Here's a beer. Come on over. Let's chat. You're cool. I'll listen to what you have to say. Even if I disagree with you, I'll listen to you. Which side sounds more appealing, you know? But no matter what side you're on, if you start attacking people based upon their political opinions, it's horrible. Stop it. Don't do it. And I'm helping every single demographic on this one. All right, I love you guys, and I'll see you on the next one.